Hi, this is Matt once again. We're about to another video, and this is a paid request for my friend Efree. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, whether it be a movie review, re-review, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, topic, reaction, commentary, streams, video game playthrough for an hour or full playthrough, whatever the case may be. PayPal, CashApp, best ways to do that. Links are down below, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can, so thank you. And this is for Command 5 from 1985, part of the little Hauser marathon. Efree's taking me on, so I appreciate that. And this one I didn't mind. This I thought was okay. It was alright for what it is. Because what it is, I guess you would say this was a pilot for a TV show that was never picked up. And that happens sometimes where either they try to have a pilot, but it's not going to be picked up, or they release it as a movie and they see how popular it is. If it gets very popular, then yeah, we'll put this to series. If it doesn't, okay, well, one and done, we move on. Now, this came out in 1985, so it came out a few years after the A-Team, and the A-Team was absolutely an inspiration for this. The A-Team was a huge hit. What can we do to capitalize on that? Let's have another group of people, in this case 5, and they help people and they fight the bad guys. Only in this they actually do kill. It's not like the A-Team where they'll shoot at the feet and get the fuck out of the way. This they did kill. So, which I was a bit surprised by. I don't know why I was surprised by, but I guess because I kept thinking A-Team, and they don't kill people, they do. So there you go. Now this was on one of the ABC's Monday Night Movie. I just trying to be ABC's answer to the A-Team, because I think the A-Team was NBC. So ABC's like, we want ours. Now the cast, you got this guy named Stephen Parr. I don't know who this guy is. I think he's one of the issues I have with the film. I wish someone else was the lead. Either William Russ or Hauser or a different actor. Maybe a little bit more well-known actor or even more well-known TV actor. Just Stephen Parr did not do much for me. He was just kind of there. I don't think he had much personality. He's trying to be the leader and the focused badass, but I'm like, I don't know. Watching him was kind of like watching paint dry compared to the other people. Just pretty much Stephen Parr plays Captain Morgan. We see him free falling, pretty decent stunt, trying to see how low he can get before he opens the parachute. So he's a bit of a daredevil, bit of a lover of danger. So he gets hired to create this team that's needed to do the dirty jobs. Not the ones with Mike Rowe, but the dirty jobs with bad guys need to be taken care of. So he's like, listen, I'm going to have these certain people. And when we see a series of events of him picking these people up. So for example, William Russ, which I've seen him in a few stuff. I think he was in Wanted Dead or Alive with Rutger Hauer. I think he was in that. I think he was the dad in Boy Meets World. I've seen him in a few stuff. I think he was in The Unholy. He plays this guy who's the driver of the... We see him driving in this demolition derby, and he's going to be mostly the driver of the group. And he's got this southern twang. He's always talking about, my daddy said this, and, well, my daddy said... But at least he has a bit of, personality. I didn't mind his character. As cliche maybe would be from that time period, I liked him. He had a bit of energy to him. Then you have this female psychologist, which apparently she stopped a sniper by offering the guy to play Russian roulette. And the first time we see her, she's training with like a machine gun, shooting at targets. I mean, that's a hell of a psychologist. We got John Matuszak, who I think was I think he was in The Goonies as Sloth. I think that was John Matuszak. He was a football player. He was also in One Man Force. That was an action film in this time period. Like I said, I can't remember if he was in The Goonies or not. I think he was, but big guy. He loves blowing shit up. But he's also a guy that likes listening to classic music. He got Wings Hauser, who's an alcoholic. He was a cop who went too far in stopping a drug guy because some younger kid was hurt or overdosed or whatever happened. So these guys tried to accost him at a bar, and he takes them out pretty quickly. He's the hothead of the group. So our lead gets all these characters, they get them together, and they're going to be training in this area. And throughout the it's a lot of training. Now, granted, with the training scenes, it would have been nice to see how the characters worked with each other. Like Wings interacting with John Matuszak. You did a little bit of that in the meeting before, when they're in this one room around the table, and Wings House is just trying to pick a fight scenes with everybody. But during the training, it would have been nice to see like them bonding and them. The only bit you see really of the bonding is John Matuszak helps the girl go over that wall. Then you need to climb over, and then he looks at it and he pushes it down. That was kind of funny. There's also this bit at this bar where it's kind of funny to see John Matuszak playing Astron Belt, an arcade game, and there's this guy, like this pimp, and got a knife, and Wings Hauser threatens him with a knife and throws it at his arm, and has his arm stuck to the wall. So there's definitely a bit of friction between Wings Hauser and the lead until the day after, where he shows both. Well, by that point, they've showed the machine guns, the Ingram Mat 10 machine guns, the main guns they're going to be using. But also this RV from hell, pretty much this big old van that's bulletproof and has a shitload of weapons in it. And can go really fast. So I would say like the first half is an introduction, these characters getting together, training, and then the second half, it almost seems like it's 2 episodes put together. The first episode is probably not. Usually pilots, at times they make like a longer pilot, see if there's interest, then each one will be, 30, 45 minutes, however the case may be. But then you get to the second part where you have the bad guys, called the Brotherhood. I know the lead guy, I know I've seen him in stuff, but I don't know what. The other people, you got William Forsythe, of course from Out for Justice, among other films. And Bruce Abbott from Reanimator. He's one of the bad guys. Sadly, they don't have a lot to do. It makes it seem as if William Forsythe's the lead, because he's really the first one you see. But then throughout it, he doesn't really have much to do. It's more of these other guys. And this is where it got kind of boring for me when we're centering on the bad guys, because it's, these 2 guys are flying a plane. Who gives a shit? These guys take these hostages, and they have a bus full of hostages. Our good guys get there, but then pretty much they shoot the bus down. They threaten the hostage. Get near us, we're going to kill the hostages. They get in their vehicles, they get the fuck out. They go to this town, they take over the town. And I'm saying that just this shit isn't that interesting. You're just kind of seeing the bad guys doing your typical things. Obviously, it's not going to be too intense or too violent because it's for TV. And it's just kind of spinning its wheels, and your main characters don't really have much to do until the third act. Oh, Ken Foree from Dawn of the Dead is in this for a little bit as an air traffic controller. Now, I love Ken Foree. His character in Dawn of the Dead is one of my favorite characters in horror films. He gives an awful performance in this. It is the worst performance I've ever seen him give. God, what are you doing over there? I forget how an air traffic controller talks now that I think about it. I mean, come on, like, what are you doing over there? Like, he gives like this fake. His delivery is not natural at all. I don't know what the hell he was trying to do or what he was told to do, but it did not flow out naturally at all. It's his worst performance I've ever seen him give. Because I liked him. I've seen him in other stuff too, and I liked him in the, I don't know what the hell. And that's sad that you go from the star of Dawn of the Dead to anonymous air traffic controller and someone called Command 5. That's just sad. Tim Frey deserved a lot more. He's, like a lot of actors. And this bitch just seemed very slowed down and uninteresting and fairly fucking boring. You get to the third act. I think a priest escapes the town, beats the Command 5 group. William Russ and the female psychologist, they decide to drive into town. John Matuszak, he's got bazookas, he set up explosives. And pretty much the action, it's there. I mean, it's on the level of the A-Team and shows of that era. So, like, Matuszak's using a bazooka. They're using a bit of the MAC-10 machine guns. Mostly from Stephen Parr, I guess, because he's the lead. The psychologist lady and Matuszak help each other out. William Russ is driving the vehicle, and him and Hauser get the hostages. Hauser comes behind William Forsythe. But sadly, they don't get into a fight, which would have been cool. It would have been cool to see a fight between Hauser and William Forsythe. Why they didn't do that, I don't know. It's pretty much, gets a gun, has a gun on him. They go, hey, don't do it. Puts him in the jail cell. Comforts the girl. The girl's scared. Grabs, hugs Hauser and gets her into the RV, the van with the others. And they drive out. Hauser doesn't have a whole lot to do in the third act. There's really not a whole lot that showcases why he's there. Like, what skills does he provide for this? It's not really showcased in the third act. It's funny, when they show the van for the first time, even Hauser looking around the van and going, the RV and going, I don't know how I fit in here. Like, some to that effect, I'm like, yeah, it's true. When it gets to the third act, he barely does anything. William Russ drives the vehicle. John Matuszak and the girl, they help set up this bridge. So when the bad guy tries to escape in his vehicle, it blows up. The lead bad guy tries to escape. The good guys get there. Stephen Parr shoots him. The bad guy tries to shoot them. William Russ shoots the plane wheels so the other guys can't escape. Then it's over. So it's nothing really that memorable. It's nothing that great extravagant. Maybe I'm being lenient on it, though, because it's a pilot for a TV show. So it's not like they, some of these other films that have enough budget for a movie that go into theaters, like millions of dollars and stuff. I liked Hauser and William Russ and John Matuszak. The female psychologist didn't bother me. I think the van looked pretty cool. I like that they're using, machine guns, MAC-10s, as their primary weapon. I like the fact that they're actually willing to kill the bad guys. Because I love the A-Team and I get why they did it, but sometimes it's like, it got a little bit ridiculous of shooting the ground for 5 seasons, and but I did it. I do it, but sometimes it got a little bit ridiculous. But yeah, Would I like to have seen more as a show? Sure. At least like 2 more episodes. Maybe 3 more episodes. That would have been nice to see. I will say the one pilot I wish that when I think of a pilot that I wish became a TV show, the one I always think of is Tag Team. Roddy Piper, Jesse Ventura, former wrestlers turned into police officers. Why the fuck did we not get that as a full, at least one season of a TV show? It's a fucking crying shame. It's a fucking crime. And that would have been awesome to see. That's one I would, like, if someone asks, what's a show, what's a pilot you wish turned into a show? Tag Team. That one I loved. This was, it was there, it was okay. Again, Stephen Parr was not that interested in me. I wish he was a different actor. The first half with the build-up, the interaction of the characters was, fun enough. Nothing original or monumental, but, fun if you like that type of stuff. That A-Team type of show, which I do. A-Team is better, but it's still, didn't mind it. Like I said, when it got to the bad guys, William Forsythe I thought was underused. Bruce Abbott, barely in it. Granted, at this time, actually, it's around this time he did Reanimator, right? Wasn't it like the same year or something like that? The ending, there's a couple little explosions here and there, and, people getting hit and doing falls. Some decent little stunts there. I did nothing earth-shaking, but, if you like that kind of stuff. But yeah, I wish there could have been more. And Wings Hauser wish did more. So as is, it was okay. It was okay. It was worth one watch. Nice, interesting novelty. There's much worse shows that became an actual fucking show. I mean, I'd rather watch a whole season of this than fucking She-Hulk. That's just me, though. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye for now.